What is the one bone in your throat that, if broken, could cause death? Think about it. We'll find out in this episode of Singer CEO. Welcome back to Singer CEO, where we're taking a deep dive into vocal anatomy. I'm Marcella Meredith, speech therapist and vocal anatomy educator. Today, we're exploring one of the most important yet overlooked areas of your singing anatomy, the pharynx, or what most people simply call the throat. Far from being just a passageway, your throat plays a major role in shaping your sound, helping your articulation, protecting your voice during both speaking and singing, and quite frankly, keeping you alive. The pharynx is a muscular tube that connects your nasal cavity and mouth to the trachea and esophagus. It's divided into 3 regions, each with distinct roles in breathing, swallowing, and vocal production. Let's revisit the nasopharynx. We discussed that area in the last video. That's the top section of the throat, located just behind your nasal cavity. This is where the adenoids live. They're tiny defenders that help filter the air we breathe and support the immune system. For singers, this area plays a subtle but powerful role in creating nasal resonance and managing airflow, especially when you're working with brighter tones or nasal consonants. Next, we move down to the oropharynx, which sits right behind the mouth. This is a key resonating chamber, especially when you're shaping open vowels like ah or o, or going for that rich, full tone. You'll find the tonsils here, also part of your immune system. For us vocalists, it's the shape and space of the oropharynx that really affects the color and clarity of our sound. And finally, we reach the hypopharynx, the lower portion of the pharynx, where your throat branches off into 2 paths, one leading to the trachea, the windpipe, and the other to the esophagus, your food tube. Coordination here is everything. A well-managed hypopharynx helps prevent vocal strain and supports healthy breath flow and control, not to mention appropriate swallowing. Now, let's answer the question I asked earlier about the bone in the throat that can be terminal if broken. It's the hyoid bone. This is a floating bone in the body. It's not directly attached to any other bone. This horseshoe-shaped bone sits just below the jaw in the neck. It behaves like a tether for muscles and structures in the neck, kind of like the ring at the top of a circus tent. If the ring breaks, the whole tent comes down. This is why, if the hyoid bone is broken, it can lead to serious injury or even death. The structures of the neck depend on its stability, so the show can go on. The throat is much more than just a connector. It's a dynamic space that supports life itself, as well as influences a singer's vocal sound. First things first, let's talk about the life itself part. The throat houses some pretty important structures. Without the throat, there would be no way to get air into the lungs. Even though we can take in air via the nose and mouth, that air, regardless of its origin point, must travel through the throat to get to the trachea and lungs. Also traveling through the throat are the carotid arteries. Those guys get blood to and from your brain. Yeah, another important part. Not only that, but there are a bunch of nerves that live in your neck. I'm not just talking about your spinal cord either. There is one cranial nerve that originates in the brain, controls many functions of the throat and neck, including vocalization, wraps around your heart, and then terminates near your stomach. It's the longest cranial nerve in the body. It's called the vagus nerve, also known as the wanderer. You can see why the throat is so underrated. It's a hub of activity that is crucial for quality living. The pharynx acts as a resonator, meaning it shapes and amplifies the sound produced by your vocal folds. Imagine a trumpet. The lips vibrate at the mouthpiece, sending pitch and air through the twisted pipe of the trumpet, refining and amplifying the tone, finally arriving at the bell of the trumpet, delivering the final tone to the room. The bell is like the mouth for the singer. The pipes are like the throat and nasal cavity of the singer, the resonating spaces. It's the size and openness of the throat that can dramatically affect tone, brightness, and vocal color. For example, a relaxed open throat creates a richer and more resonant tone, while tension here can limit vocal freedom and resonance, creating a thin or a bright tone. While articulation is often associated with the mouth, The throat plays a supporting role. Structures of the soft palate help shape airflow and assist in forming vowels and consonants. Understanding this coordination is key for clear diction and expressive phrasing. This concept is one for you and your voice teacher to explore often and on repeat. The throat has a protective function too. During swallowing, the epiglottis covers the entrance to the larynx and trachea, helping prevent food or liquid from entering into the airway. It behaves kind of like a garage door. If the garage door doesn't close quick enough or seal well, then we could end up with rainwater in the garage. Now apply that to taking a sip of water. If the epiglottal flap doesn't close down well, you could choke. This required protective anatomy and action demonstrates just how closely linked the swallowing and vocal systems are. Maintaining good health in this area is crucial for vocal performance. In the next video, we'll take a closer look at the larynx, the true engine of the voice, and discuss how pitch, volume, and vocal fold vibration come together. If you found this helpful, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the full Vocal Anatomy Series playlist. The more you understand your voice, the better you can manage it, not just as a performer, but as a vocal entrepreneur. See you next time on Singer CEO.